Welcome to the No Huddle Nation podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, here joined by producer Josh Northcutt. And for the first time on the CX Podcast Network, welcome Bryce Tate.
Yeah.
Bryce is a fellow North Dakotian here with me. So we've been talking a lot of ball over the past month at work instead of doing our work. So I figured I'd bring him on here to talk some more ball. So welcome, Bryce.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited. I've seen a few episodes. I'm a big fan. I like what I heard, like what I saw. So I'm excited.
All right. Well, Josh, how's your week been?
Well, you could kind of hear how my week's been before we get on air.
We did hear that before the show.
Yeah, but no, not all that bad. We're just trying to get things ready for Millie's first birthday. So running
Sweet.
around trying to do little chores here and there. But I'm just ready to talk some football. I can't believe, boys, we get football in 30 days.
Yeah, 10 Sundays. What is it? 10 Sundays now? That's a lot. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. And college football, this time next week, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be playing it. I won't be recording this podcast. I'm gonna be playing it. Oh man, it's so great. Yeah. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into this. The No Huddle Nation kickoff. We're going to bring up some recent storylines. Which when I first made this rundown, I didn't think there would be many. And then Bryce, your Steelers decided to do some stuff. So I'll go ahead and let you take it away. What do you think about the trade?
I hate to lose a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick, a leader of men, not only a talented player, but just a great Steeler, even though he's been here for 4 to 5 years. I feel like he's made a big impact as a Steeler. But to lose a guy like that, but to get a guy like Jalen Ramsey back and Juwanna Smith, I think as much as people want to criticize the trade, I think it is a plus for the Steelers. I think we're going to see a big jump because before this trade, I was iffy if we're going to do our usual thing, be positive in the wins-loss record. But after this, I think it's a guaranteed 9-8, 10-7 season, which could be bad because who knows if we're going to make a championship run, but Weasley could. Also, why I like it is just because it shows that the franchise is in a win now mode. We always are. It's Super Bowl or bust for the Steelers. I mean, as a franchise that's won 6 Super Bowls, as a fan, you want to see them win. You don't want to go through the tank. You don't want to go through the rebuild. So as much as this trade might push us back because we have a lot of older guys now with Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey, it shows us that we want to win. So I'm happy with it, to be honest, in the end.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think about this move?
I'm a fan of it. I kind of agree with the whole. First off, Jonnu Smith is like Arthur Smith's dude. Like, he loves him. He knows how to use him. He wasn't using Kyle Pitts over this guy. It tells you how much he loves him. And then Jalen Ramsey, worst case, maybe he's not the shutdown corner that helped the Rams win the Super Bowl. We all get that. But he's still a pretty darn good corner who can turn around and mentor, worst case, Porter and get him up to another level, which he was already good enough. I see no issue with this. As Bryce mentioned, Fitzpatrick is one of those guys that I have always thought as a Steeler in my brain, and it made me like trigger. I was like, wait a minute, he hasn't always been a Steeler. He used to play for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that because I just think of him as a Steeler. So that is going to be a little bit weird to see. But all in all, I don't hate that trade at all. And I think it's a go all in, win now mode or move, like Bryce mentioned.
Yeah.
What do you think about this move on the Dolphins side of things, Josh?
That I'm a little bit on. I mean, these are two guys they weren't really going to use much. They've been shopping these guys since the trade or since the draft day. This was a rumor deal, I believe, back when the trade was going or when the draft was going on. Bryce would know better than me, but there was talks that the Steelers wanted Jonnu Smith, and then there was talks that the Dolphins were shopping Jalen Ramsey. I don't know where Fitzpatrick fits exactly in that team because I don't know a lot about their depth chart of how much cornerbacks they're losing. I know that they used to have Xavier Howard. He's clearly not there anymore either because he was almost a Bengal before he didn't sign last year. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it was two dudes they were ready to move on from, and they got a pretty darn good safety.
Yeah. You made a great point. I mean, definitely two guys. Jalen Ramsey has expressed that he doesn't really not want to be there. He wants to go to a team that can win. So he's got there. I mean, the Steelers, maybe they won't win this year, maybe won't win anytime soon, but it puts them in a better position to win. And Jonas Smith, obviously, we've been shopping around. I feel like that was a done deal way before this trade. We were going to get him regardless whether it was in this trade or a separate trade. But for the Dolphins, I think this is just them blowing it up. They're going in rebuild mode. They really don't have any corners that come to mind. So I think this is you can call it tank, you can call it rebuild. They're not looking to win next year. So I think I like the move. Get a guy like Mika Fitzpatrick. He's a great player, great talented player. Does he fit? I don't know. Is he going to change life? Probably not. But he's a great player. Why not get a guy like that and bring him back to Miami where he got drafted? So I think it's a good move for both sides, in my opinion.
I just looked it up, and their two starting cornerbacks this year are undrafted free agents. They literally signed them in 24 and 22. Kadir Kaiho and Storm Duck, by the way. Top-notch name.
What a name. I love that.
That is an all-time name. The Bengals play the Dolphins, by the way, because I would love to see Demar and T against the secondary.
Yeah, that's going to be insane.
That would be at least one game I could accept. So what I want to bring is the other trade the Dolphins made, because I think this kind of counteracts what you guys were saying with like them kind of throwing it in the towel, because they trade for Darren Waller. And like, I'm not saying Darren Waller is going to make them a winning organization. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what Darren Waller looks like at this point. But why do you guys think that they traded for Darren Waller? I think the final trade was they got the Giants got a 6th rounder, which he wasn't even playing for the Giants anyways. So it's like, at least get something out of it. And then the Dolphins get he was a stud at tight end. He was a really great tight end back in the day at the Raiders, but we haven't seen that in the Giants, and we don't even know what he looks at 32. Mm-hmm. So Bryce, I'll throw it to you first. What do you think about Darren Waller and the Dolphins? What do you think about this move for the Dolphins, and do you see it really amounting to anything?
Yeah, I mean, we can all make jokes and laugh talking about Darren Waller. I thought he was retired. I thought he was is he washed? He didn't have a great year in New York. I was one of those guys that drafted him in fantasy. I thought it was a good fit, but it was about usage. They did not use him right. He was blocking most of the time. He's a blocking tight end. They tried to force feed him at times when it was clearly going to him for no reason. So I think Mike McDaniels, that's the main reason. He's going to use him to the best capabilities that you can use a guy like Darren Waller. He's still talented. He's 32, which is aging, but for tight end, that's not too old. He's going to be just fine. I think it's a great fit. I'm excited to see what he can do. Clearly, he wants to play football again, which is why he backed out of his retirement, clearly, from this trade. But I think it was just usage. He's a great talent, great player. I think he's going to thrive. Maybe not be Darren Waller of the past with the Raiders, but he's going to thrive. I can see it.
Well, you saw it a little bit with Jonnu Smith. I mean, sneakily enough, Tyreek Hill was in and out last year. So Jonnu Smith kind of became Tua's designated target for some of those games. And I remember picking him up in fantasy and winning the fantasy championship with him. So,
screw you, Colton.
just had the dog on you a little bit.
Yeah, I lost in the championship in mine, so it's pretty sad out here. Yeah, it's bad.
Well, there's always next year, fellas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're about to.
And we're getting there. It's about time for that. So, I like it. I think Darren Waller could definitely turn back the clock, but it's like you guys said. I don't think this Dolphins team is really going to compete as they should. Like, they'll win the games they're supposed to, I guess, like they typically do. And I wouldn't even say that's a guarantee. But any last thoughts you got on this, Josh?
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't fumble on the field as bad as he does off.
Right.
Kelsey Plum. That was
sad.
Enough said.
And he made a little song, which is crazy. Yeah.
He made a little song about that?
Yeah, he made a little song.
Don't listen to it.
Yeah, it's not I wouldn't recommend it.
All I know is he made that song in Madden that they played every single time you get in. Not that specific song. But
yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know he was in Madden.
Yeah. Josh, though, you had a couple storylines you wanted to bring up, so let's
at least one. I might save the other one for the last segment. But for the formal talks for 18-game NFL season, it has been delayed until 2026, per reports citing health, CBA, and broadcast concerns. clearly we all know the reason they got rid of that bye was eventually to try to end up getting 18. They have the mindset of continuing to expand this game internationally. I think they're now up to 7 games, maybe 6 or 7 games. They're going to be playing overseas this year. Whether American fans like it or not, the game's going to expand. And the truth is, it's good for the sport. It's making them money. They're selling out every single stadium they go to, no matter where they go. My only request is if they go back down to Brazil, which I think they are week 1, let's not have green teams go. Just only request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about
agree.
that. That rule out there is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I would add, maybe don't have, what was it, the Patriots versus the Giants, maybe? Like, give them some good can you imagine, like, an all-time matchup like that? The matchup that always come to mind is that one Rams and Chiefs game before Mahomes had a ring and Jared Goff was still at the Rams. Like, imagine if you have one of those, like, just all-time games, but you're at Wembley or, like, somewhere over in Europe or down in Brazil. Like, that would be special.
The only thing about that, Colton, is they don't have to do that. They're selling out no matter what. The game you're thinking about last year, they were penalized with the Panthers and Giants. That was
that one was in Germany, and they were saying like that's their final like punishment for World War II or something like that. No, that's crazy. But so was that your only storyline you wanted to bring?
Yeah, I'm going to save the other one for the end. That's going to be my gritty. So
you're gritty. All right, Bryce, did you have any other storylines before we move on?
No, not off the top of my head. I do not. Do you have any?
Alrighty.
I actually do then, Bryce. I was going to save it for you. What is your thoughts on at least 5 teams calling the Steelers for TJ Watt? But the Steelers are like, no. So I had to bring it up.
This is another thing that, as much as I love myself in the franchise, we do so well with drafting, off-season trades, off-season acquisitions, whether it's in free agency or whatever. But to not get a guy like TJ Watt tied up, let alone this offseason, but previous offseasons, if I am in the front office, throw all the money he wants at him. Re-signing a guy we have not seen play a snap in a Steelers uniform like Jalen Ramsey before TJ Watt is just a bad sign. I don't understand. I have high hopes. I think TJ Watt is going to be a Steeler for life. Maybe that is bias. I don't know. But I think we're going to figure out a way to get it done. I don't know what the logistics are. Is it money? Is it tenure? Whatever it is, it does not matter. Whatever TJ Watt is asking for, give it to him. Whether it's because he's aging, pushing 30, if he's not already 30. That's fine. Who cares? He's one of those guys. He's a Cameron Hayward type player, that a guy that will be a game changer throughout his entire career till the end. So I don't understand what's going on. I would love to know more. I would love to be in their ear, pressing the issue. But I don't know. I think in the next coming weeks, we're going to get him signed. Before the season, obviously, but in the next coming weeks.
I will say the Steelers came out today and said they have no plan of trading him. So that's got to give you a little hope that something will work out. But boy, oh boy, Colton, doesn't that sound familiar? An aging pass rusher needing to get paid, and we're all like, just pay him.
Yeah, that's
I was going to say, Bryce, you mind coming on down to Cincinnati and giving them that same exact speech?
I don't know. I mean, obviously Trey Henderson. Yeah, exactly. Obviously Trey Henderson's not the guy TJ Watt is, but he is a phenomenal ball player. He's a phenomenal ball player. He is. I know what you're going to say, but he's a sack leader. He's an impact player. You think he's better than TJ Watt?
I don't. No,
Okay.
I don't. I'll be the first to admit that.
He is a phenomenal player. He deserves all the money as well. He should have been re-signed a long time ago.
And we got the money. We got $32 million.
You have the money.
And that's what I don't. We'll get to that.
We'll save that for the losers. Let's save that for the losers. Let's go ahead and get to our Guess Who, a little trivia question that we're going to have here from time to time. So the first one I have, and basically it's just like first, whoever says it first gets it. So get ready. It's name the one player to play in the Pro Bowl without starting a game at QB in college.
I feel like I should know this.
The one player to play in the Pro Bowl without starting a game at QB in college.
Tom Brady. No, he started a game.
No.
You're right. He started a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually beat Ohio
That would
State.
be crazy if it was true.
That would have been crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know this one. You actually
Played in a
got
Pro Bowl.
Wow, I stumped y'all.
Yeah, you stumped me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel a lot better now because that stumped me.
I gotta know what it is.
Any guesses? None.
Wait. Gardner Minshew did start.
He did.
It's got to be a guy who played a different position or went to a different position. Like that. That's what it has to be.
Is it Ryan Tannehill?
No.
That
you have anything, Josh? I
got nothing. Ryan Tannehill's actually a hell of a guess, though, because he did play wide receiver for a little bit.
Yes, he did. All right, I think I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm gonna see if I can give you like a hint because I'll tell you this. He was on a lot of teams. I'm trying to figure out what team he was on when he got the Pro Bowl really quick. That would be so when he was on the Pro Bowl team, he was on Kansas City. I don't think that helps at all because that's not what I think the team I think of when I think of this guy. But
it can't be Alex Smith then.
No, Alex Smith led you.
Alex Smith, I think,
to the Sugar Bowl. It can't be Patrick Mahomes because he started for the.
He made the Pro Bowl as a Chief at quarterback.
According to Football Reference here, yes.
Yeah, is this an early 2000s kind of guy?
This is a mid. He started in the mid, but he played throughout the 2010s. Like I think of him from the 2010s when he.
Okay, I'm thinking recent. Okay, let me go back.
My bad. I should have clarified that.
Horrible podcasting right here, by the way. These people have already tuned out. I've got nothing.
I have nothing.
You know, if Ben was here, he would pull it right out of his ass.
That's a fucking horseshoe.
Yeah.
So it is Matt Castle.
Wow, I should have got that.
USC.
Honestly, I did not even know he made a Pro Bowl. To be honest,
I honestly didn't know he made a Pro Bowl either.
I'm gonna say he was pretty solid with the Chiefs for a little bit when they made that trade for him.
He was.
I didn't know he never played a snap at USC as a starter, but I guess that would have been during
that too. That is
interesting. According to the trivia I took, that's what it said. So
wow,
maybe they lied, but he had a pretty solid season looking at it. But there's our trivia question for that. That's like the first time I've ever seen anybody stumped on it.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm gonna have to go right to that well again then. But now let's move along to our off-season winners and losers. I'm sure we all have a lot to talk about. So, Bryce, I know you said you had a lot, so I'll go ahead and let you just give me one winner.
One winner. Okay, I got plenty of winners.
You got plenty of winners. Like we'll just rotate it around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What do I want to start with? Okay, this winner is going to be under the radar throughout the entire season, but I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. I am an Arizonian. I am from Arizona, but I think they are a winner. As much as we don't see them winning the division, maybe not even going positive. I think they're going positive, but they are a winner. These off-season moves in free agency, I think they made so many moves getting Josh Sweat, Jacoby Brisket, Tomlinson from the Cleveland Browns. That's a great move. And then they drafted well, in my opinion. I think they drafted as good as anybody.
Yeah, they took our guy.
Yeah, they took our guy.
They took Walter Nolan, and then they took Will Johnson.
They took Will Johnson
go off the board.
Yeah, and then they got Denzel Burke. Denzel Burke, another great corner. Arizona kid, grew up. He's gonna at least, maybe he won't start this year or whatever, but he's gonna blossom into a solid rotational corner. I think they did a lot of well. And then obviously we got young guys coming in, like at least progressing. Marvin Harrison's obviously gonna have a better year than he had last year. Kyler Murray, the rapport that they're gonna have is gonna be insane. One of the best quarterback receiver tandems we're going to see in the league in the next couple of years. And I know we don't see Kyler Murray maybe as a fringe top 10 guy, but I think he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks. In my opinion, I know maybe not you guys, but I had him early in the season at least in MVP talks, which I think he will come into the season and start off strong. So I think they are a big winner. We can go on longer, but I'm gonna just hear what you guys got to say about that. What do you guys think?
I like it. I've been a Kyler Murray defender, as Josh knows, for the longest time. And I told you, I showed him our top 10 video. And
Yeah,
I told you,
I've seen it. I got a lot. I can speak on that too. But
yeah, retroactively, I would put Kyler Murray above Brock Purdy and put him in that 10 spot. And I think he has room to grow. And I think there's argument for him to be even higher than that. And I think he can show that this year. We saw what happened with him and D-Hop. I mean, and I think Marvin Harrison is a pretty comparable player to D-Hop. I don't know if you'll like D-Hop, prime D-Hop, don't get me wrong,
yeah,
is I'm not trying to like say that, but I'm saying like it's a very comparable like
yeah,
to there. So I mean, Kyler Murray can throw, he can get to his targets. He's got some good targets, and like you said, they've made a lot of really good moves, not only this year but in the past couple of years that have kind of gone under the radar. And that Cardinals team from the start of the year to the end of the year, two different teams. And I remember Josh has made a point in the past about Kyler Murray being sneakily QBR. I think was like top 10 at least, 6th or something like that. It was like, it's a really good QBR. So yeah, all around, I really like that take, and I think the Cardinals could. Did you say like on the record they would win the NFC West?
No, okay. The NFC West is an underrated division. I don't think they're gonna win the NFC West, but they're finishing top 3, guarantee. They're gonna finish
I
top
was
3.
even going to go as bold as saying I do think they're a top 2 team in the NFC West this year.
Okay.
And coming from me, that says a lot. If you can ask Colton,
That's a lot.
I don't believe in Kyler. I do not believe in Kyler one bit. However, I believe in the talent around him. I think Trey McBride may be the best tight end in the NFC. I will say AFC because Brock.
I don't even know about that.
Brock Bowers is a thing. And you got Marvin Harrison Jr. You re-signed James Conner, but like you mentioned, the defense, what they did this offseason, just loading up, signing some free agents, getting new speed, crushing the draft. If Will Johnson, because I know everybody's worried about his knees, I get it. I'm a biased Michigan fan a little bit, but if Will Johnson is as good as what he was at Michigan, that is the steal of the draft. Even if it's only for 5 years. But last time I checked, they're trying to win now. They're not trying to win 10 years down the line. So getting that dude in the second round, absolute steal. So no, I don't hate that at all. They hit a very solid. I wouldn't have had them in my top 3 or 4, but I do think they improved while the Niners and Seahawks did not, if that makes any sense. So they even get a boost. But they're not on the Rams level. I will say that. They are not on the Rams level.
Yeah, as much as I want to say that they are on the Rams level, they're not. They're not. I think it comes. I mean, as much Gannon, is that the head coach name, right? Gannon. Or am I saying that right?
Gannon.
I mean, early in the season, he's a defensive coordinator. He came in as a defensive coordinator. Defense was not looking good. That's like you said, Colton. That's second half of the season. Totally different team from the start of the season. So I feel like now they get some rapport. The defense is meshing well. I think they're going to be a sleeper team in that division, let alone the conference, in my opinion. And I like that you mentioned James Conner, that resigning. That is a great resigning. But they also have a young guy, Trey Benson. He's going to show us that he is a starting running back in this league. It's a lot of two backs. For a lot of these teams are running two back, especially looking up at Detroit. They have a lot. They have the, what do they call it? Sonic and Knuckles or whatever
Sonic
they call
Knuckles,
it. Yeah. Like we're doing a lot of two back offenses. So Trey Benson is going to blossom. I'm excited to see what the Cardinals do this year.
Josh, what's the winner you got?
I'm going to surprise Colton again with this one. I'm going to go to the Bears. I love what they did this offseason.
I like that.
To the point where I think they might win the NFC West.
Ooh,
that much.
That would be really hard for them to win the NFC West.
Are we saying might?
NFC
or are we
North.
saying
NFC North. NFC North. My bad.
Okay.
NFC North. But no, I like obviously DJ Moore and Odunze. Great combination out there. They rebuilt the entire offensive line. They went out and they got Thuney. They got Dahlman. They got Jonah Jackson. They drafted Colston Loveland, who is a stud tight end. Again, a little bit biased, I know. Luther Burden, stud in the slot. They're just getting Caleb Williams some weapons that we have not seen him have. And it's honestly kind of frustrating as a Justin Fields believer. Why couldn't they do this for Justin?
Yeah, I'll be saying that for a
Mm-hmm.
very long time. I agree, though. I think the Bears have done, like, every year we say this is the year, right, for the Bears. I think they've done everything that they've could to make this year. Now it's just in the hands of their new head coach, Ben Johnson.
Ben
Yep,
Johnson.
Ben
Right?
And
Johnson,
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
great
saying.
mind.
You took the offensive mind from Detroit. Like, we
Mhm.
have to. What if that offensive coordinator isn't as good, or even half the guy that Ben Johnson is? That
Right.
offense takes a step back. Because let's
Mhm.
be honest, Jared Goff still isn't that great, no matter how much Ben wants to say he's the best
Yeah.
quarterback in the NFL.
Second best.
Oh,
Yeah.
second best.
Yeah, I mean, going off what you said, adding their strength last year was their weapons, and adding even more weapons is gonna make Caleb Williams feel a lot more comfortable and just play well, even if it's because last season, in my opinion, people are gonna say, "Oh, he had a down year for a rookie or whatever," but he was trying to play hero ball so much. He's having to run out the pocket. The O line was so bad. Did the O line get worse? No, it got better. Adding Jonah Jackson, that was a great pickup. I think they upgraded in the O line, and I think it's going to show next year. I think Caleb Williams is not going to have a sophomore slump. He's going to progress his sophomore year. He's going to play a lot better and show him why he was a number one pick and a Heisman winner at USC.
I'm gonna have money on him to win MVP. I think he
Okay,
could be that good.
I agree. I think he can be that good. I don't know about putting money on it,
Year
but
two?
I think he can be in the
I
talks. Final
literally
three,
think
top five.
1 year with Ben Johnson calling plays, these weapons. I mean, the only thing I kind of question is, as Bryce mentioned, Detroit relied so heavily on the running backs.
Hmm.
I don't trust Swift and Roshan Johnson that much. I would have liked to see them address the running back maybe a little
I
bit
agree.
better somehow, some way.
Did
But
they?
these weapons, man, I'm not kidding when I say this, and I know I'm going to take heat in Cincinnati. I would take their three and their tight end combination over Cincinnati.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not
I
upset with
disagree.
that.
I disagree, but I'm Cincinnati, so I'll shut up.
You're fine. You're good. So,
I
Colton, you
mean,
want to let us know your winner?
yeah, my big winner is the Commanders. I mean, they were already just
Okay.
winning. Like, obviously, they have Jaden Daniels, but I think they really did a lot, getting some O line help in the draft, filling some of the holes on that defensive end, and then bringing in Debo Samuel. Like, is not like a surefire win, but if it works, we don't have to have full blown Debo Samuel. But if we get like 3/4 of Debo Samuel, think about how dynamic that offense is going to be. Think about Jaden Daniels. You have to have that QB spy in there. Oh, Debo Samuels might be running the jet. Like, think about all the things you have to try and watch for. If Debo Samuel can just get back to a little bit of what he was in the 49ers, and you have the old Arizona coach that coached Kingsbury, Cliff Kingsbury. You
Yep.
got
Put in
him,
the show.
great
Yep.
offensive coordinator.
Dan Quinn, head coach.
Dan Quinn, head coach. Javon Kinlaw is also an absolute steal to help that defense as well. I forgot to
agree.
mention that. Still only 27, which honestly surprised me. I felt like he'd been around a lot more. And he's improved each year, and I think he's going to break out in this Commanders defense. They bolstered that defense. I think they will absolutely have a say in who makes it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, if that wasn't already clear. And yeah, I think it's going to be scary. This Commanders team is going to be nuts.
It's interesting that you said scary. So, scary Terry McLaurin. We obviously know he's a great receiver, but
Uh-huh.
there's talks around that he is not satisfied with his contract situation. Have you guys heard
Oh,
about that?
I haven't heard
Yes.
about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do I think he's going to be a commander going into the season? Most likely. But for the foreseeable future, I don't know if it's kind of there's a big question mark there. Would I sign him? Obviously. I think he's one of those guys that you got to get under contract as soon as possible. What is going on over there? I do not know. That's why I did not have them as one of my winners. Is that scary
fair.
Terry situation? Because if you're gonna rely on Debo Samuel's as your number one, and especially if Scary Terry is gonna hold out, which he hasn't been, but if he's gonna hold out,
Mhm.
Debo Samuel's is not a number one. I'm sorry. So
I,
I
I
don't know.
I agree with
No.
you. Can I talk about a sneaky signing though that a lot of people haven't realized, and I didn't realize it until I saw the photo? Michael Gallup is a sneaky signing.
That's a great
I
three.
saw
That's a
that.
great
Why didn't I write that in my notes?
Great third option. That receiving core is slept on. That receiving core is very slept on.
Yeah. Oh,
And they have the quarterback
Scary
that,
Terry.
to
Scary Terry is the
maximize.
most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. He finally
I
got his
agree.
flowers.
I've been
last
saying
year.
that. I've been saying
Yeah.
that for years, man.
100%.
Like, think about who was throwing to him before
Correct.
that. Like,
And he
Right.
finally gets Shane Daniels, and look what he does.
finally gets Shane Daniels, and it was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So that's the only thing I would agree with Bryce. It would be a wait and see. I honestly see the Commanders and their new ownership playing hardball and be like, look,
100%.
Terry, we're not going to trade you anywhere unless we're getting something special for you because you're a key part of this team and we can win a Super Bowl this year. Because you put an offense out there of Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Michael Gallup, good old reliable Zach Oldman Ertz. I don't know how the dude still does
Zach
it.
Ertz is a dog.
And then Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler's continuing to – he refound himself last year.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely agree that
Yeah,
they are the biggest threat
Brian
to
Robinson.
the Commanders, or I mean to the Eagles. But I still think they're a little bit far away to catch the Eagles because the Eagles are just that's disgusting how good they are.
Absolutely. Well, Bryce, let's hear another one of your winners.
Another one of my winners. I know I've heard a lot of talks about you guys being down on this quarterback, but I think a big winner in this offseason is the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is going to make that leap. He's going to make that leap. Getting weapons like T-Mac. T-Mac, a great guy. Great player. I think he's going to come in, work hard. I've seen clips of him in OTAs, rookie minicamp. He's a guy that's going to work, put in the hours, and obviously he's just phenomenally talented. And then Jimmy Horn, sleeper late round pick. He's going to immediate impact. He's got immediate impact. You don't see that a lot in the late round guys, but he's going to be probably the number 2. And then Hunter Renfrow, obviously he's probably not going to be a guy that's going to play a lot, but he is going to be a rotational guy that can change pace, maybe short yardage or a red zone threat. So I think that is a great piece. And then they have solid tight ends in Sanders, Tremble. I think they still have Tremble. But yeah, I think they're going to be a really good team. The O-line got better. Defense got better. J.C. Horn's coming in healthy. Top 10, top 5, do you want to say, corner in the league? I think he's going to come and play great. So I think this team's going to be super. Are they going to be a playoff team? The division's wide open. Would we say it's not wide open? I know the Bucks are pretty good, but it's wide open.
Bucks is all their only competition.
Yeah, so maybe they can sneak in, be a wild card team, but they're obviously going to be better than next year. They're not going to have a top 10 pick in the next year's draft. They're gonna play better. So I think that's my winner. I think the ownership's been very sketchy and the front office has been very sketchy with the moves of the past few years. But this year, I think they made a big change, and I think the franchise is on the up.
And the thing about Bryce Young is he's got confidence now. Like you can just see like kind of the night and day difference. Like he kind of got that slap in the face, got benched, and then came back and just started throwing and it wasn't like his stats were off the charts, but he was winning games. He was keeping them in games. He wasn't, making those kind of rookie mistakes. And I mean, I watched that man go toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes in a game, and it was glorious. I want to see more of that. Yeah. I'm rooting for this team. And the thing about the Panthers is they've been a very directionless organization. I talk about it a lot in the NBA. The Hornets are one of them. The Wizards, all that, like very directionless team recently. They kind of have that now. They got Bryce Young, who I think is an outstanding leader from what I saw at Alabama. And I hope he's got to get comfortable with his leadership role in the NFL and working with a completely different group of guys. So getting some time for that. The defense has always been good, but it's just like the offense has never been there. And the defense has kind of just had good pieces and never really fit together as like a really good schematically defense. But I think they got there last year. They definitely got there last year. And so I agree. And the moves they've made this offseason, I love them. I love that wide receiver core. And I think they can compete with the Buccaneers team, who I still am very unsure about that team, especially with their performance in the playoffs. I worry about that defense because I don't think they really did much in the offseason to improve that defense.
They lost their top corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, they got worse. So I absolutely think the Panthers could honestly win that division. And if not, maybe sneak into a wild card. That NFC is going to be tough, though.
And I'm not sleeping on the Falcons before. I'm not sleeping on the Falcons. Great
sleeping
team.
on the Falcons.
Understandable. Yeah.
But Josh, you got any comments on that, or you just
I just love how Bryce literally went after the two teams that I literally. I mean, the two teams that I just hate on so much because they're short ass quarterbacks. But I will say, and Colton can vouch for this, I became a fan of Bryce Young for how he handled his situation last year when Andy came in and took over for him. And he sat behind Andy Dalton and he asked questions. Andy, like, what did you see here and there? And it became a learning tree almost. And then when you saw Bryce take back over, you saw that growth of why somebody like an Andy Dalton is very important. And finally, around the league, Andy Dalton getting some flowers, which I'm glad to see. But I do agree. I can see the Panthers taking the next step up. But I personally am on the Falcons as the team to beat in that division.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's understandable. I mean, the Falcons, they got pieces everywhere. Every group, every position group that has a stud, has a dog. You can go corner with AJ Terrell. You can go the D line. They have a lot of young guys in there. The receiving core and tight ends, running backs, quarterback. Michael Penix I think he's sleeper pick for the up and coming quarterbacks. But what I want to go back to Bryce Young. Why I am so high on Bryce Young. We always talk about arm talent, the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes. Everybody was so high on Anthony Richardson because he can throw the ball 100 yards. But as you see, it does not work when you have this strong arm. Bryce Young, in my opinion, maybe not the best, but throws one of the most catchable balls. And as a receiver, you want a quarterback that is just it's pretty much already in your hands before it even touches your hands. He throws such a catchable ball when you watch his games, and his escapability is just so good. He's such a crafty and smart quarterback. You don't need a guy throwing 100 miles an hour, bullet 100 yards, because then that's going to make it harder on a receiver who has every corner in the league. As much as we want to bash corners, every corner in the league can play at a high level and is very competitive. So when you have that guy draped over you, you want a ball that is so easy, just falls in your hand like a pillow. He throws such a catchable ball that makes him such a great quarterback. Tom Brady, a guy that doesn't have these obvious arm strength, arm talent, but he throws such a great ball. And I think that's what Bryce Young does so well. He doesn't put his receiver in harm's way. He's obviously done it a few times, but he's still a young quarterback. He's going to learn that. But he throws such a catchable ball. I think that's just a plus for him, and you don't see that enough in the league right now.
And could I argue that maybe is why it took him time to kind of figure it out?
You can say
because like throwing a catchable ball in college is going to be different than throwing it in the NFL.
Right.
There's different ways to find those paths and whatnot. So yeah, I that's a really good point. Moving through, any last winners you got, Josh?
I'm just going to sum it up very quickly. The Jets finally got a franchise quarterback in Justin Fields. So I'm not even saying it's a winner for the Jets. It's a winner in Justin Fields. Finally, an organization that's going to give him a chance to be that guy. And I hope he goes out there and he proves that he can be.
Sun on them hoes, Justin.
Yeah.
Is there a Jets Bears game? Because I'll be tuned in.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's Jets Bears, but I'm 90% sure there is Jets Steelers.
Okay. Yeah, and I love Justin. I think he should have started from the jump. I think we should have re-signed him. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback of all time, but I was so against signing him because, what are we going to get from him? Obviously, he came out and said this is his last year. We know it's his last year. We've been known. We thought last year was going to be his last year. I think as much as we can say it's Aaron Rodgers, 5-time MVP, is that what he is? I don't know. Super Bowl champion, 4-time MVP. I don't know. I'm not sold on Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to get the job done just because we are that type of franchise that can get wins, find wins when we can find them. But I don't know. Justin Fields was the guy. But good luck to him. He's in my prayers. I want him to succeed with the Jets. I think, like you said, maybe isn't a winner for the team, but definitely a winner for Justin.
Yeah. Any other winners, Josh?
No, that was it.
The only other one I had was the Broncos. I liked some of their signings. I think J.K. Dobbins, if he's got anything like he did last year, I know there's been some questions about what J.K. Dobbins is going to show up, but if we get J.K. Dobbins on this team, just something to take the pressure off of Bo Nix on offense, I think that's scary. Also, Dre Greenlaw getting added to that defense.
That is crazy.
Oh, boy. yeah, that's really all I had to comment on there. Bryce, I know you had some more winners if you want to go through them real quick.
Yeah, I'll make it really quick. Steelers, I think it's a win. I think it's a win. We gotten better. As much as we want to ridicule the Steelers, we got better. Jalen Ramsey, he's probably not the same Jalen Ramsey of a couple years ago, but top 5 in career targets this past year, but still had an up year in completion percentage. So I think he's still going to be a game changer in the secondary. And obviously, like you said, Josh, he can easily be a mentor to Joey Porter. We're not expecting him to be a lockdown corner as much as he can be. He's going to be a rotational guy or a guy that's going to maybe transition to safety a little bit or be in the nickel, be in the slot. And another team is the Raiders. I think what they did with getting Pete Carroll, like that's a stud of a coach. I think they're going to be better. Have Brock Bowers, a good young team. Ashton Genty, a coachable player. He's going to probably get a workload, but I think he's going to do well. They're probably not going to win many games, but promising future for them. And the Chiefs, small, minor pickups, but I think they drafted well. And Josh Simmons beefing up that O-line. He's going to be a Trent Williams type of guy. I predicted here he's going to be one of those guys that is going to pan out and be one of the better tackles in the game. And yeah, I think the Chiefs, as much as we want to say it was a down year last year, they are going to come back and probably, obviously, be a contender.
Yeah, no, the Chiefs are so good at drafting O linemen, and then the second you sign their O linemen, they go to being crap.
I don't know. They got a spell on these guys.
They got a spell for sure. So let's go ahead and move along to our losers. Sure, me and Josh both have the same one at the top here. Our beautiful Cincinnati Bengals. Before I take it away, as a unbiased fan, Bryce, what do you think about our offseason? To put you on the spot.
I'm more than an unbiased fan because I hate the Cincinnati Bengals, but I am an unbiased analyst when it comes to this. I think definite loser. They were in my I have them written down here. They are a loser with what they're doing with their number 1 draft pick. Do we even have to speak on that too much? But Trey Hendrickson's another big loser. Not getting that secondary straight is another big loss. Re-signing T. Higgins, that was an obvious decision. I don't think that we can really count that as a plus for them because obviously you got to re-sign him. But all in all, Bengals, they're going to compete. Joe Burrow might win an MVP next year. We might get another Triple Crown season out of Jamar Chase. I think they're promising they're going to win 10 games plus next year. So I don't think it's going to be that bad, but they are a off-season loser.
I'll go ahead and take it. While I agree, it's obvious. Re-sign Chase, re-sign T. I think it was obvious to extend them 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when they were a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
I think that's my real complaint with it is like you lost $20 million of cap space just by not signing them when you already knew they were generational talents. Like, just sign them. Don't wait. And honestly, let's be honest. Are they just hoping that they got hurt or something makes their value go down so then they keep them here? Like, what? Why? And then the same thing with Trey Hendrickson. The whole argument is that they don't think his value has gone up, or they probably even know his value's gone up, but they just want to spend the same price that they would have 3 years ago when Trey Hendrickson was trying to get an extension. So, or 2 years ago, whenever it was. So we refused to sign our first round draft pick. To be fair, I'm not completely sold on him not being another Shamar Stewart.
Sure.
But still, you spent a first round draft pick on him.
Yeah, exactly.
So sign him.
Yeah.
Don't try to pull some. And then, of course, the returning sack leader. I will give them credit for signing TJ Slayton. I like that. I like that signing. That's all I got. Does he pressure the QB? No, but at least like he is a body to help Trey Hendrickson if we do have him this year. But we let countless defensive pieces. You mentioned not bolstering up the secondary. We let countless defensive pieces that would make sense to use our $32 million of cap that is just sitting there, maybe going to some big old vacation they have planned. And we just let them go to sign not only to other teams, but other teams in our division. Yeah. I don't even know.
I'm sorry. You have to go through this.
Oh, I get to talk now. Yeah. So first off, you fixed the offensive line problem, the guards. Your idea of how to fix the guards is a rookie third rounder.
Yep.
And a guy who is coming off a knee injury, starting at right guard, who played for the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Okay, great start there. Great start there. Your wide receiver position, which I know, yes, you locked up T and you locked up Chase. The problem is, what happens if T goes down again, or God forbid Chase goes down? Your wide receivers are Yoshivash again, and you're gonna really trust Jermaine Burton. You're gonna trust Jermaine Burton though. No. Are we really going to trust Jermaine Burton after all this? No. Like, I have to believe it to see it with that whole situation. Yeah. But the biggest gripe I have in the offseason, I got so excited. They were going to flip the running back room upside down, bring in some new faces. They bring back Samaje Perine. I don't care that he was on the Super Bowl team. I don't care that he's a pass blocking specialist. The dude gets 2 yards and that's it. No, not happening. If Taj Brooks is not your number 2 running back, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I hope Zach Moss can come back. Honestly, I really do. But the neck injury, always a scary situation. But then we get to the defense. Basically, what the Bengals told us was that Lou Anamariro, I can't even say his name right now.
No, I'm not going to get it either.
Yeah, I'm so frustrated right now. I can't say his name right. But Lou was the problem. That's what they told us with this offseason.
Wow.
The secondary is completely back. There's not one change. They're relying on 2 cornerbacks, Dax Hill, DJ Turner, to get healthy, coming off knee injuries. We don't know how quickly that's going to happen. They're going to rely on a 25, 26-year-old rookie linebacker in Demetrius Knight Jr. And then they picked up Ryan Burks. Yeah, TJ Slayton was cool, but your starting defensive ends as of right now are Joseph Asai and Miles Murphy.
Not Joseph Asai.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm sorry. I'll say it right now, and I'm taking a lot of heat for it. This is another 8-8 team, and they're finishing behind the Ravens, and they're finishing behind the Steelers. And I'll tell you now, the Browns are getting closer. They've done nothing to impress me this offseason. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Al Golden is a magician that we all thought Lou was, and magically this defense becomes even average. But looking at this defense right now, there's no way it's still not a bottom third of the league.
Yeah.
Valid point. I take it back. They are not winning 10 games. But I do have a question for both of you guys.
Uh-huh.
You talk about the running backs. As much as I do agree, are we not high on Chase Brown?
Oh,
I love Chase Brown.
I love Super high on Chase Brown.
Okay,
but the problem with Chase Brown is he does have knee issues from college.
Okay. Right.
He's not I wouldn't want to overwork him.
Yeah, he's not an every down back. I agree.
But he is damn special. He is a top 10 running back. There's not 10 running backs in the game.
You can make that case for sure off of this season. I loved him. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, Bryce, what losers you got?
I mean, honestly, as much as we want to say they are the team that we've known them to be, a loser, and I think we can all agree, is the 49ers. That contract Brock Purdy got, he's an Arizona guy. I love him. I'm a big fan of him. I've known him since high school, but he is not worth the money. I think they put the money in him where they should have put it elsewhere. I don't know. I mean, are we still relying on Brandon Ayuk? Like, do we need more weapons? I think George Kittle's on the decline, obviously. Injuries and whatnot. Defense didn't get better, unless I missed a signing. Defense didn't get better. Drafted decent, I guess. They didn't draft horribly. But I think they're throwing in the towel. Rebuild mode. Obviously, that's a smart thing to do. Blow it up. After Fred Warner, I mean, obviously, Hall of Fame linebacker. But, I don't know. Big loser in my mind. I think their window is very small, and it's now or never. So I don't know what the plan is for them. I don't know what the front office is doing. Kyle Shanahan, great coach.
I was going to ask.
I don't know.
What do you think it would take? At what point do we look at a new coach?
He's gone.
Yeah, he's definitely gone.
if they don't make the playoffs, he's gone.
Yeah, 100%.
You pay Purdy that. I get it, but you pay Purdy that much money, you're telling your coach you got to find a way. That's the way it's going to work. It's just like McDaniels is going to be gone in Miami.
Yeah, coaches are always going to be the scapegoat. Whether it's their fault or not, they're the scapegoat, always. Mike McDaniels, I think you got to keep him. He's a great coach. But even Kyle Shanahan, good coach. But, like, what he's doing over there, you got to let him go. You got to let him go. He has to go.
Mm-hmm. I just can't wait to see where Kyle lands up because he's going to land on his feet and he's going to turn another QB into an absolute stud.
Titans, Cam Ward, good Lord, it's over.
I was liking the Giants personally, but I'm just a Jackson Dart guy.
Okay.
Did you guys see his snap count? What do y'all think about his snap count?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's trendy. It's been going on all over college. You see it everywhere. I mean, it's trendy.
It's not exclusively a Jackson Dart thing.
Yeah.
No, it's literally everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not really in the NFL, but we'll see if they might change.
Imagine he brings it up.
I doubt he will bring it to the NFL.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other losers? I forget where on was it. I think Bryce.
I'm going to throw one. I'm going to throw one loser out there. Last time I checked, the Texans kind of had a down year last year, and they traded their best left tackle and arguably maybe the best left tackle in the AFC, if not all of the NFL, and Tunsil. And they're basically now putting all pressure on CJ Stroud to figure it out with a makeshift left side of the line in Cam Robinson and Laken Tomlinson. I'm not a fan of that. Poor Stroud is going to be getting shredded on that left
100%,
side.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Any other losers, Bryce?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Bengals, we went over that. But the Saints, I think they're a clear loser. Didn't really do anything. Well. I think they're obviously in the rebuild mode, but nothing really.
What's beyond a rebuild?
I don't know. I mean,
they're
graveyard.
Their mindset, even though they spent a second-round pick on Tyler Show from Louisville, who I think could be a
Arizona kid,
decent quarterback. Their mindset is to tank for either Arch Manning or Garrett Nussmeier.
I'm even high on Drew Aller. I think he's another.
Josh is quite high on Drew Aller.
Yeah, Manning though is literally Arch is the greatest outside Drew Brees, and then Nussmeier, his dad is the offensive coordinator.
Greatest outside of Drew Brees.
Yeah, are we saying he's Drew Brees?
What you mean by that?
In the Saints legacy, it goes. Okay. Yeah, sorry. In the Saints legacy, it literally goes Drew Brees, and then everybody loves Arch Manning.
Right.
Down there in Louisiana, they love it. So
I see now. Took a moment. All right. Well, that was our winners and losers from the offseason. A lot of winners, a couple losers, a very big loser, and Saints and Niners as well. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with our King of the Gritty. That's the name for it now. We'll see if it sticks or if I think of something a little better. Essentially just a player, team, coach, fan, whatever, a story around football that stood out to you. Josh, go ahead and start it off.
Like we were going to talk in the headline, but I decided just to save it this. It's Randy Moss returning to ESPN NFL Countdown. The man beat cancer, and I live for those Sundays. I used to love jacked up segments before that got banned by the NFL because money was getting passed around. I shouldn't have been getting passed around. But You Got Mossed is one of my favorite segments of the week. Just watching dudes get jumped over and just owned by the wide receiver, just like the great Randy Moss used to do. So very happy for him to be back and have beat cancer.
That is a great one. Yeah, I love Randy. I will go last. I want to hear yours, Colton.
You want to hear mine? I wrote it down. Let me find it. Oh, I did not write it down. All right, so I forgot it. So I'm just going with Matt Castle for stumping you all in the trivia.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm going to go with Matt Castle. Absolute blanked on what my King of the Gritty was. So
okay,
Bryce.
Mine's not going to be NFL. It's going to be college. I'm going to go with Mike Vick getting the head coaching job. I think he is one of those guys that deserves all the praise in the world. As much as he's had going on in his career. We all know. I think he is one of those guys that is a great leader, great human being, and he's going to turn that program around. And might not be there for his entire career, but he will find a place as a head coach in the big leagues, whether that's Power Five or a Group of Five. I think he deserves all the praise. I think he's a great coach and great leader. I think he's really going to change a lot of these young kids' life.
Where do you land at?
It's a team up north. Yeah,
Norfolk.
Yeah,
we played those guys. Hey, they're just Norfolk now.
Oh, they are. Okay. Not Norfolk
we played against an NKU, and they were very specific about that. So
okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, love that. Love to see Mike Vick getting a lot of former legends getting some coaching jobs here recently.
And just to bring up the Mike Vick thing, I just always want to say this. Mike Vick was so before his time. If he got to play in the option offense that is ran in the NFL nowadays, we think Lamar and Jaden Daniels was special. Boy, oh boy, what Mike Vick would have done to defenses, it wouldn't have been fair. It would have been real life 2005 Madden.
100%. 100%. I agree 100%. Yeah. You can make the case he's better than Lamar Jackson. You can make that case, in my opinion.
You can make it. You sure can.
That arm talent is, it's crazy.
Special. All right. Well, we definitely ran over, but it's the first episode. That's kind of customary for a first episode. So had a lot to get out. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to come back next week when we'll be talking about our AFC South predictions. We'll be predicting that and anything else that's happened in the league. Kind of picking up, I guess, before training camp. Like you said, 30 days away from football. 30, preseason football, at least.
Yeah, the first preseason football game in Canton will be on July 31st. That is wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, wow, that's like in school when I started. We'd start in the middle of late August, and then it ended up being August 1st by the time I got to middle school. Anyways, side tangent. Be sure to subscribe to the CX Podcast Network for more sports talk. MLB just dropped today on the YouTube channel. Really great episode there, recapping June. We also had the Rick Broering interview. NKU legend, love that guy. NBA has also been talking about the draft and whatnot. So be sure to go check us out on that. Check us out on X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. We're everywhere now posting. I definitely heard some clippable moments from this episode that I plan on getting out there. So, and also check us out on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Amazon Podcast, and Spotify. I meant to say at the beginning, but we get that out immediately. So if you want to hear it a day before it comes out, be sure to listen there. And that's all we got. Follow me on Twitter at coltttt.45, Josh at jnorth1989, and Bryce, where can the people find you?
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're all right. Let's go Twitter. King Football 28.
King Football 28. I love that. I love that username. I'm gonna follow you right now.
Oh yeah,
that's literally what I'm doing right now.
All right. I love it.
Bryce, thank you for coming on the pod. Was this your first ever podcast?
Yeah, first ever podcast.
You are an absolute natural, so we'll have to have you back on for sure.
Thank you guys. We'll definitely love to be back.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Josh, for hopping in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.